Hi, students. This is Professor Faith, and I'm recording this walkthrough for students playing Lawyer's Quest, which is a computer game related to business law. And I wanted to take a few minutes to sort of show you how to get around in the game and answer maybe some of the basic questions of how to play. When you go to profaith.com, you'll go to this screen, and it's an invitation to enter your Squire ID, which in a future release, you'll be able to self-register and play. In the current release, I would provide you with access through your regular CCBC login for other parts of the college. So it'd be the same username as that. And just put that in and you hit start. And this is today just developed for part of Business Law 1. My plan is to add other courses down the road and other content for Business Law 1 as well. But for now, you can choose that course and see what quests are available to you. And those will show below as you're working through the course material. I believe this account is on quest number 2, which is related to sources of law. Um, so you click OK, and then you'll be taken to the game map. And again, I'm a little bit further along in this quest, but what you notice at the top here is some information about the keys to press in order to move on the coordinates on the map. And the coordinates appear over here. So if you were to go north by pressing N, you notice that your position changes by 1 point north, and you can go east and move on the game board. As you're moving around, you may encounter various activities, one of which is an interaction with unfriendly lawyer, but there are a lot of other characters here. And you have the ability of doing certain things at this point, one of which is to answer a question. And you can click on that. It's a true-false question, so you have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. If you have the weapon, in this case, the pen, to fight the lawyer with, then you can fight your enemy. And you can also try to run away and go back to the game map. And on the left here, it's telling you what your chances are of those particular actions. So a 50-50 chance of getting the question right, but my character it's unlikely that they would be successful at hitting the lawyer, and probably not successfully getting away safely without some damage to my equipment. Um, Now, the other thing that you can see here is when you're in this combat mode, your actions either make you more hungry or you make the enemy more hungry. Whoever gets to maximum hunger first wins. So if I was to fight the lawyer, you notice it hit me. I only have a 1 in 4 chance of striking it with my pen. And I'm not doing a very good job of winning here, right? Because I hit him once, but he's hit me 6 times. So probably not the best choice early on in the game to try and fight the enemy. But I actually beat him. And what it tells you is they had to go get a pizza because they were hungry. And it gives me a certain amount of experience points and bits, which are the currency of the game. So then I can go back to the map and I can continue on either way playing. And so I can keep going north, and then I can also go east. If I go to 0.0, which is where the town is, then it'll take you to this screen, which gives you some other activities that you can do. One of them is that you can visit the mall and you can buy items. And based on your level, there'll be more items that you can buy. Some of these are items that you need in order to move. You need food in order to move. And there's a variety of food items like pizzas and larger pizzas and energy drinks and steak dinner and things like that. Some of these are weapons against your enemies. There's a bunch of enemies you'll encounter over time, and they all have a different weapon you need, whether it's the pen or the calculator. And then there are some other things you could buy that are relatively expensive, but are gear that modifies your chances of hitting an enemy when you're in a combat mode with them. And so, for example, your sturdy shield or gavel of judgment, things like that. And you just simply buy something you want to buy if you have the money. Your bits are here at the top. They're actually team bits. So when you and other people on your team earn bits or spend them, it's really from the team account. But nonetheless, you have those to work with, and you may want to purchase other things. The other thing it'll tell you is how many times you can use it. Large pizza gives you 8 slices, right? 8 moves on the game board. A larger, extra large pizza gives you 12 moves. And there is here the barrel of crackers, which is more expensive, but gives you 50 moves on the game board. So again, that is helpful. And then the other items also have a certain number of uses as well that you can use them before you have to buy a new one. All right, and the other things in the town, you can go to the town office, especially starting out. You don't have any money, you don't have any food, so you can go to the office and do some work. And for example, you can help a lawyer, and it'll give you some bits based on your level and what the activity was. So you can work there. You can also visit the Hall of Fame and see how people are doing in the game. Um, it gives you an idea of how things are going for people playing. And then, of course, you can leave town and then you can go back out on the game map. Now, on your quest here, you're looking for answers to riddles, basically. And some of those are chests that you can unlock that give you certain game items by answering the riddle correctly. Of course, you don't know where they are, so you may encounter them just by accident walking along on the game map. Or you may encounter an enemy that may give you an item. In this case, I don't have the Ring of Non-Residence in order to fight the Subpoena Centaur. And I have kind of average chances of running away or answering the question. I think I'll run away. But I get injured during this process. So, you're taking your chances that you might injure yourself doing that. But anyway, so you can move around the game map. You may also encounter a wandering trader that might give you some information about where to find a treasure chest. You may also run into a wizard that may ask you a riddle, and also that's a part of kind of getting through the quest. The bar at the top gives you an idea of how far along you are in Quest 2 in terms of how many riddles you've solved. It also keeps track of your experience points. The more experience you have, the higher your level. Again, that modifies the game. And then your hunger bar, being all green, means that you have maximum food. As you have less and less food, it will become more and more red. And so at some point, you won't be able to move because you don't have any food at all, and you have to go back to the village to buy some. You can click or press I, and I will show you your inventory, things that are in your inventory. Food permits you to move. The other items that are marked as gear kind of change or modify your chances in combat of striking your enemy. And certain items affect gameplay with certain enemies. And then whether you have arms, so various weapons that you can buy, like a pen or a law book to fight the judge with or whatever, those will also appear, giving you an idea of how many uses you have of each one. And again, you can keep moving. Some places you can't go earlier on. For example, mountains you can't cross without getting hiking boots. Otherwise, you have to walk around them. And a wizard in this case appeared on the tile I was on and asked this riddle. I deal with crime, not just a dispute. if you break my rules, jail time may suit. What type of law am I? And it gives you a hint that there's two words in the riddle. You get more hints for riddles as you acquire certain items to try and help you, like telling you how many letters are in each word or giving you some other hint of where to look for this. As you're playing this game, the quests are related to content that we're working on in the course. Unit 1, the sources of law, and some of the other materials on torts and criminal law. Those are the basis for the quests. So referring back to your textbook as you're working through these quests will probably help, in terms of answering riddles like this. Um, and I'm guessing this one is criminal law. Let's see. I got that right. So I got an item. And now I have two of them. So that adds some increased success in terms of fighting enemies. Again, you can, acquire more items as you go. Fighting enemies sometimes, again, will give you items and also other things. And opening up treasure chests also will help you with experience points and bits and also with certain items that may appear. So all those things are part of the gameplay. And you'll see the messages toward the top here as you're moving around in terms of what's happening and whether you have to eat your crackers from your barrel or not, or pizza or whatever might be in your inventory. So if I go to the mountains and I go north, it tells me I can't go over the mountains yet. I don't have the item for that in my inventory. And so that, is designed to make you kind of walk the long way around the range of mountains. The other thing to note as you're playing the game is that besides running into wizards and non-player characters, the enemies get stronger. That is, they're harder to beat the further away you are from town. They also may occur more frequently in certain areas, like in forests, as opposed to just the empty spots on the map. So you want to think about that as you're moving. And some riddles, some treasure chests are in a way, they're farther away, they're harder questions, and it's designed to challenge you, kind of reinforce some of the ideas about the course. And again, another riddle, and I'm not sure what the answer to this one is, honestly, but again, you don't have to try it. You can always return to the map and keep going, moving around. If you get stuck, you can always hit V on your keyboard. It'll just take you back to the town automatically, magically. So, if you run out of food, you can always come here and do something in the town. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the game. Again, it's just designed to reinforce some of the ideas from the course, some of the vocabulary terms, to get you kind of practicing for some of the materials. In the current edition, there is a boss fight, which is designed to be a review, where you have to go to a particular place on the map, and then it's multiple choice questions. And you have to answer 16 right before you get 8 wrong, or depending on what your hunger level is, in order to beat the boss and get the experience points and everything. Again, kind of as a review activity from the course materials. Anyway, I appreciate your comments. If there's feedback about the game or how it works, feel free to send me a message about it. And again, I'll be trying to add more content as we go.